Good morning, beloved. Good morning. Welcome to Beacon Unitarian Universalist Congregation and Summit, committed to radical inclusion, feeding the human spirit, and healing the world. See, we know our mission statement by heart. It's a beautiful thing. I'm Reverend Robin. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a member of your lead ministry team. And for those in need of a visual description this morning, I'm a shorter white woman with shoulder-length brown hair and a crimson turtleneck, though we were debating if it's crimson or not. Helen, who is an incredible artist, may be able to tell me after the service. Our service today is held in our historic sanctuary in Summit, New Jersey, located on the ancestral and continued land of the Lenni Lenape. We acknowledge the first people of this land, both as an act of recognition and grounding, but also to bring awareness to the ongoing call for right relationship, particularly as we look now to build on the property at 695 Springfield Ave. We have entered a time of relationship discernment with Lenape leaders, understanding more deeply our relationship to this land, to the First Peoples, and yes, to one another. If this is your first time at Beacon, welcome. And if you've been coming here for give or take 40 years, welcome. However your relationship has formed in this place, or perhaps your relationship with religion, with the people and journey that led you here to this day, with the questions that you bring, the inspiration, the hope, the struggle, the pain, the uncertainty in this moment. We say here at Beacon, bring it. Bring it all. Bring all of who you are. Bring the wonderful and the challenging, the not quite ready and worked out to say out loud. Bring the beautiful and the bruised. Bring the brokenhearted and the holy, for that is what it means to be wholly human together. This indeed is the call of our faith as Unitarian Universalists. Welcome, beloved. Welcome.
Our first hymn of the day is Spirit of Life, which is 1, 2, 3. And I welcome you to stay seated for this one, as we not only have the choir, but you're all a member of the choir at the moment.
Good morning. I'm Helen Kerr. I'm this morning's worship associate. For those who cannot see me, I'm a gray-haired old lady who used to be taller. And this morning's chalice lighting comes from a TEDx talk that I heard. And in it, Dr. Richard Davidson asked this question. Can you envision living your life so that taking out the garbage and doing the laundry are still related to your sense of purpose?
Good morning. I am Emily Vargas, a member of the lead ministry team. My pronouns are she, her, and I am dressed I have short, sandy, blonde, brown hair, 5'8", and a white woman with no earrings and a stole on that's always slightly crooked for some reason. I have to tell you a story about Tuesday night as I stand in the sanctuary among the tree of microphones. Tuesday night, 12 of us entered the building for our monthly Board of Trustees meeting. This is something we do every month on the third Tuesday. We come in about 6:30, 6:45. We climb the stairs. We take the elevator up to the corner of the building, right around there. It used to be here, but now it's in room 207. And as we entered room 207 on Tuesday night, each one of us had the same experience of walking in and then stopping in our tracks. There was a circle of chairs where normally there is always 4 rectangular chairs set up, tables, I said chairs, 4 rectangular tables set up with chairs around them. And we looked at the space thinking, what is this? How are we going to have our meeting without our tables? After some conferring, should we go ahead and set it up like we always do, we decided to actually keep the room as it was, with a small table with a chalice in the center and all of us sitting in chairs in a circle. The meeting was, I have to tell you, decidedly different, because the first thing we had to ask one another is this going to work for everybody, and how do we make it work? So we attended to one another. We heard from different people what their needs were. We even had to set up some tiny tables and tiny chairs for people to put water on beside them, whatever they needed. Then we had the experience of the fact that there was nothing between us except the flaming chalice, open space. We could really look at one another, and the conversation seemed to flow. The other thing that was different was that our laptops weren't open. Notifications weren't constantly popping up. When we needed our laptops, we had them on our laps or on the tiny chairs beside us. We used them as necessary, but otherwise, we talked. We all entered the space and experienced something different because of one surprise. And as a result, we created a new experience. At the end, many of us remarked how much we appreciated the qualitative difference. Now, I wonder for you, have you ever expected the same old from the regular routine of life and then walked in and found something different? Maybe like a Sunday morning at Beacon, when you've walked in and found that the chairs were actually set up in a circle, or maybe there were microphones everywhere, or sometimes on Halloween, the chairs are actually facing that way. We've done all sorts of things that transform our experience. Have you also maybe entered the sanctuary and found that someone is sitting in your seat? We know. We watch your faces. We know that experience. Or maybe for those of you online, you come and you enter YouTube and you're looking for the comments, but you just can't seem to find them. Maybe on the surface, everything was the same, but then you notice something that you had never seen before. Have the trees always been right there? There was a Sunday when we all arrived and a tree had actually been cut down. Have you ever noticed that maybe something behind me, the acorns, actually look like part of the human anatomy? Maybe. Now everyone sees it. In fact, nothing we ever experience, really nothing, is ever the same old, same old. Every moment of our lives is actually a new experience. Everything is always changing. Everything always looks different from a different perspective. So let's take a moment to notice this moment. If you are in the room with us, I want you just to take a moment to look and listen around you. Take in the sanctuary, the people, the world outside. This moment is wholly unique. If you are online with us, I want you to look and listen to your environment. First, take in the screen. What do you see? What image is Will making sure that you are seeing? What if Will changed which camera you're looking at? What if Alice, our sound tech, made sure that my microphone was turned off? She didn't actually turn off my mic. Now notice the room that you are in. If you're watching this video on a different day other than October 22nd, what is different about the time you are living in? We show up expecting life to be static. If you've seen it once, you've seen it, period. You don't need to keep paying attention to it. But when we practice noticing new things, it pulls us into the moment of now, and the result is mindfulness. Every time your mind goes back to the past or flutters off to the future, I invite you to take a breath. At least for this hour that we have together, take a breath and notice a new thing in this very moment. It will qualitatively change how you experience both the same old, and whatever uncertainty lies before you. Here ends our noticing, but let's continue to notice.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Dennis Mannion. I am 5'9", reddish brown hair with some gray hairs here and there that I've earned every single one of them. I'm the father of 5 children and a grandfather. I'm a member of our Beacon Chaplain team, and our role as chaplains is to extend the spiritual care of our community. We recognize that everyone needs care at different points in our lives, and as chaplains, we offer ourselves as a one-to-one resource for deep listening. And in that listening, provide a foundation for healing. Over the last few weeks, especially as we've witnessed unspeakable acts of evil in the Middle East, we offer our chaplain ministry in support of our lead ministers as a spiritual resource for listening with compassion to anyone who may be feeling anxiety, grief, or fear amid the continuing reports of violence and war. If you'd like to speak with a chaplain or have questions about our chaplain ministry, please see me or anyone in the ministry team after today's service, or you can go to the Beacon website for more information. All conversations are held in the strictest of confidence. Another way we extend the spiritual care of our communities by facilitating our weekly candle lighting. Today, our first candle is a small beacon of both prayer and hope for peace, for all who are living with the horrors of armed conflict in so many places around the world, for Israelis and Jews everywhere, for Palestinians in Gaza, the West Bank, and Muslims everywhere, and all who feel threatened by the rise in acts of tribal hatred. We light a memorial candle for Beacon member Ruth Sprague, who passed away this week at the age of 101. A candle of love and gratitude for our fellow chaplain, Kathy Menendez, who visited Ruth monthly over the last 10 years. And for Kathy's speedy recovery from hip surgery. A candle of love and healing for Terry Palachek, who is facing surgery in the coming week. For these and for so much more, we invite you now to come forward to light a candle here in our sanctuary or wherever you may be.
Our next hymn is number 318. It's one of the great hymn tunes. It's called We Would Be One. I invite you to stand in any way possible, body or spirit, and join in singing this.
To
Parker Ford, Executive Director of Faith in New Jersey, to share about Faith in New Jersey, the organization that is the recipient of our plate collection today.
Hi, everyone. Hi. I love being at home. So my name is Charlene Walker, and I'm the Executive Director of Faith in New Jersey. Faith in New Jersey is a power-building vehicle for people of faith and shared values and believers of justice to actually build power to build a beloved community. We believe that all people deserve liberation, and that through shared liberation is how we will actually become free eventually. Today, I was supposed to be joined by two of our leaders from the city of Paterson. Unfortunately, today, they are attending a funeral for an individual who has lost their life due to gun violence. Faith in New Jersey organizes in the city of Paterson specifically and around the state, as well as lifting up in the nation, the need to actually end gun violence through the proven strategies that we know have worked for years and years. Yet there's never been any real investment. So if you're investing in Faith in New Jersey, what you're investing in is leadership development of everyday people, such as our leader that I hope to come today that lost two of her children and had lost a lot of hope about bringing such a program to the city of Paterson. Her and her comrades and people that she loved in her community are learning how to wield their voice, how to strategize, how to understand the system so they can actually move $20 million to the health department to address gun violence as a public health issue. That is what Faith in New Jersey does. We develop people to go as far as the White House, to talk about healthcare, to make sure that our immigrant families are treated with care and welcomed. So any donation we gratefully accept. But one thing I want to leave us with is everyone has a place in movement, no matter how big or small. Whatever your talent is, bring it to an organization that you can love as much as I love Faith in New Jersey. Whether it is being the person that makes the fried chicken or the vegan casserole for the meeting or that watches the kids. Your voice in just a few moments of your time can have an impact for a lifetime. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charlene. And I would say also thank you to the choir for being here today and actually literally giving us your voices so that our spirits get elevated so that we can do the work. It's an amazing contribution. And the choir is open to anyone who would like to join. You actually don't even need to have musical experience. All you need to do is have a little bit of willingness to be part of a community. Here we go with Here Together.
Sharing it with you.
Thich Nhat Hanh left us 10 steps toward the achievement of Zen dishwashing. 2 words we don't usually put together, but fortunately this morning we have 2 experts in both who will demonstrate for us. 1, chop wood and carry water. Challenge yourself to realize that to wash dishes can be a pleasant and deep encounter with life in the present moment. It's not lost time. It's not a chore. 2, no striving. If you're washing the dishes just to get them clean and get on with something else, you haven't yet attained the Zen of dishwashing. Thich Nhat Hanh says that there's only one way to wash dishes: to enjoy washing dishes. 3, release the tension. Holding your breath, tension in the jaw, shoulders up tight, hands squeezing the sponge like your life depends on it. Which muscles would you need to reconfigure to allow yourself to smile? 4, connect your mind to the present moment and the feel of the water on your skin, the dish in your hands. Release any resentment. Smile to any lingering regrets or anxiety, and gently bring your mind 100% to bear on what is going on right now. 5, check in with your body. Do you feel the soles of your feet on the floor? How's your back? Allow 100% of your body to participate in the act of dishwashing. 6, connect with your ancestors. Are those your father's hands that you're scrubbing with, or your grandmother's? Who taught you to do dishes? Did your great-great-grandmothers have the joy of warm water, sponges, and soap? 7, see the galaxy in your spoon. Where has this metal come from, or the glass or the clay in the plate? What were its previous lifetimes? Where will it be in 10,000 years? 8, no mud, no lotus. As you scrape out the grimy leftovers or throw away the peelings in the compost, visualize what flowers they may nourish next year. 9, nourish compassion. Be gentle with yourself and the dishes. Touch gratitude. Gratitude for having food to eat, soap to wash, and loved ones still alive to make the dishes dirty. And 10, forget all these points so you can scrub in peace and freedom.
After last week's service on repentance and repair, a member approached me at the pancake breakfast and asked if we could recreate the sacrament of confession because she missed the practice that she held from childhood. We don't get that a lot here. So I begin this service with a confession. When I am washing the dishes, I am never in the moment. I never do what I just did. Instead, I am doing everything I can to get my mind off of the fact that I am doing dishes. I am listening to a podcast or FaceTiming someone or making a list in my head or thinking about past regrets, something, Some of these are called life hacks, ways to make sure that every moment is as efficient as possible. However, Thich Nhat Hanh might call them the road to suffering, because multitasking stops us from being present to the moment. It's one reason, says Dr. Ellen Langer, why we're all so unhappy, because it leads to mindlessness. One of my favorite cartoons has two monks sitting cross-legged in a land of beauty, and one says to the other, "Do you ever think about chucking all of this and retreating to a life of mindless consumerism?" Dr. Langer is a preeminent Harvard psychology professor who started studying mindfulness theory in the 1970s. Not to mention, the list of things that she writes about is the illusion of control. I love that that's in her job title, studying the illusion of control. She says that mindlessness is so pervasive in our tech culture, where our devices tell us what to do whenever we need to do it. Stand up, sit down, move around, take a breath. Are you there? That's what they do. And she wants us to stop worrying about life after death, and instead she proposes that we consider the question, is there life before death? Are we living yet not alive? Are we living yet not alive? And the first step on the path to life, to waking up to the life that is before us, is washing the dishes, and only washing the dishes. People approach Dr. Langer all of the time, many of them quite miserable, and they want to know the secret to mindfulness. They are expecting her to recommend meditation. Instead, her answer surprises them. All you need to do is take care of this moment. This second, right now, just take care of this moment. And then just keep taking care of the moment. And you'll come to the end of the day and discover that the day actually wasn't all bad. When we spend our lives actively noticing new things, which is, by the way, her definition of mindfulness, actively noticing new things, our neurons begin firing, which both literally and figuratively enlivens us. It improves almost all aspects of our life. And moreover, when we start to notice new things, and those neurons begin firing and we become curious, other people notice and they become drawn to us. The way to be happy, she says, is to be engaged. And the way to be engaged is simply to notice. In other words, wash the dishes. The second lesson from Dr. Langer is we have the illusion of stability. This is the noticing of new things that we talked about earlier in the service. The fact that we are going to walk into a room and that it will be exactly the same as it was last week or last month. We have this illusion that once we've seen it, and so we don't need to pay attention. And she says, it is an illusion. Remember, everything is always changing. But the biggest secret that Dr. Langer teaches, and it is the biggest, is that nobody knows. Nobody knows. We live in a world of experts, including Dr. Langer. After all, she's the expert in mindfulness that I'm using today. But we live in a world of experts. And when we think we know, we tune out. Oh, here's another talk on mindfulness. I know about this. I'm going to tune out. Then we don't pay attention. We don't have to pay attention. We don't have to notice because we know. I know how to drive from Summit, New Jersey to Easton, Pennsylvania, my hometown. I have done it more times than I can count. I don't need to pay attention. I can almost go on autopilot, but I can't tell you the number of times that I have shown up in my hometown, walked into the house that I grew up in, and my mom says, "Have the leaves started to change?" And I will say, "I have no idea." I don't even remember the drive from there to here. I was tuned out. I hadn't noticed. In a world of experts, there is pressure to know. How many of you have had the experience of someone saying, "Oh, have you read this book? Or have you seen this film? Or do you know what's happening someplace?" And you felt the pressure to say, "Oh yeah," even though you have no idea what they're talking about? We pretend to know so that we can live in this world of experts. Now, a few times in my adult life, here's another confession, someone has said a word that I had no idea what it meant, right? They use it in a sentence and I just have no idea, but I pretended that I did. And I remember this moment in seminary. I was sitting, and I'm moving. I was sitting in Fleck House, which is in Chicago, there on the south side of Chicago, and I was sitting on the stairs of our communal house. There were some of my seminarians around me. We were having this conversation. It wasn't a theological conversation. It was like, "How are you all doing?" And one of my friends, Wendy, used a big word. It was probably like anachronism or something that I know now, but I really didn't know then. And I just smiled and nodded as if I knew what she was saying. My friend Sarah was sitting next to me, and Sarah had the audacity to say, "Wait a second, Wendy. What is anachronism? I don't know what that means." And I remember having this moment in my body where I looked at Sarah and thought, "You're allowed to do that? You're allowed to say, 'I don't know,' and then ask someone what it means?" To this day, I have a response that says, cover the fact, pretend that you don't know. And I try as hard as possible to live into that moment that gift that Sarah gave me, to say, "Wait a minute, I don't know what that means. Can you tell me?" We have to pay attention. Expert Dr. Langer says, "The truth is, I don't know, and you don't know. Nobody knows." And if you live from this place, you can say to the people all around you, "If I don't know and you don't know, then let's explore and discover together what's about to happen." A few weeks ago, I was officiating a wedding, and one of my neighbors was at the wedding, and he told me that it was he and his wife's anniversary. And I said, "Oh my gosh, what was your wedding like?" And he said to me, "I remember that I'm very proud of the fact that my wife and I didn't kill our mothers." They were a nightmare. It was like we didn't know who they were anymore. And I have to tell you that it's not just mothers, but there is always this moment in a wedding or in any time when we're doing something new. So when I'm planning with a couple, I always warn them, every new endeavor, weddings among them, has a hurl moment. Promise you that. Something will. They lived happily ever after is a lie. It's a lie. If you think that nothing bad will ever happen, something bad will. Life is uncertain. It just is. Get used to it now as you're planning your wedding, because that's what you'll have a lifetime of. I don't know why people stop asking me to officiate their weddings. It's just, it's lost on me. But I tell them this so I get them ready and that they're prepared to handle the moment when it comes. I tell them Dr. Langer's secret. I, as the officiate, don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen. But your vows are a promise to one another that you can and will meet whatever arises together. In our community at Beacon, we have been engaged in a building project for at least 10 years, at least. We've been thinking about it for at least 50. It kind of goes up all the time. 50 years as we've done the research. We've never done this before. I've lost count of the number of hurl times that I've experienced just in the time that I've been here. This moment of how can we get to this moment and can we actually pull this off? And whenever this fear, and my stomach starts churning, arises, I think about the Great Wall of China. The first stone was laid in 650 BC, roughly speaking. The princes of small states in the eastern and central regions of what is now China ordered that walls be built along their borders. Some 400 years later, the emperor ordered that these different walls be joined together. Generation after generation worked on their segments of the wall and putting them together. It took 9 years to do so and 1 million workers. Even then, that unified wall is not what we think of today as the Great Wall of China. All in all, it took 2,000 years and another 2 dynasties to complete the masterpiece of what we now know. It's an almost unbelievable achievement, thousands and thousands of miles over mountains, across rivers. And it's not just a wall, it's not just a security system, it's a work of art, a thing of beauty that can be seen from space. And I look at it and I think, that is a lot of hurl moments. That is a lot of moments for a lot of people in which they thought, can we really pull this off? The thing is that no one expected that first stone layer in 650 BC to know what was needed to complete the final masterpiece. If they did, the person probably would have given up long ago. Can we pull this off? No. Hell no. It's too massive, too overwhelming. There's too many what ifs. No to that first stone layer. Tend to the moment. Lay the first stone. Think about Charlene and what Charlene shared with us in terms of her friend, mired in grief. Mired in grief. How will she get $20 million moved for gun violence prevention in the state of New Jersey? She'll do it because Faith in New Jersey is there. She'll do it because someone brought the fried chicken. Stone by stone, fried chicken by fried chicken, donation by donation, we get to the goal. This was the advice given to me, and I'm referencing Dennis, because Dennis Mannion is a part of the Running and Being team. And I asked them, when I signed up to run each of the 5 New York City half marathons, 1 in each borough, I asked them for advice. And they said, you can't think about the finish line, because if you do, you won't want to cross the start line. Don't think about that line and whether or not you can do it. Run 1 mile and then another. I have to tell you that when I was in Brooklyn in the second half marathon, after a strong start, my brain told my legs to go faster, and my legs told my brain exactly where it could get off. There was this moment, right, where I'm running, and I'm like, faster, faster, and the legs are like, I could feel my body going slower and slower, and you have that moment where everyone else is now running faster than you are, and you just feel them coming up, and I just thought, I'm at mile 8. How am I gonna get to 13? And I started to panic. How I should just give up now. I can't do it. And I then had this little voice, just this step. Just this mile. And I looked up, and in front of me, I saw a series of stoplights. And I thought, I'm just getting to that stoplight. And when I got to that stoplight, I looked at the next stoplight. And when I got to that stoplight, the next one. And I never let my brain think 13.1. I think that that is a lesson for all of us and how we get from here to there. It is, yes, you have the vision in mind, but you just tend to this moment. I'm gonna keep my heart wide open and get to that next stoplight. Beloved, we have a holy endeavor before us, one passed down to us generation after generation, to build a home where there is enough room for us and our mission to thrive. I don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know what's gonna happen. The truth is, nobody knows. But what I can know is that we can get through this step by step, moment by moment, together, taking care of each moment before us. And so we run to the stoplight. We lay the first stone. We bring the fried chicken. We wash the dishes. Until one day, after moment upon moment, we find ourselves lighting Christmas Eve candles in a new home together. That is a vision worth living out. Amen.
For our closing song, we're going to sing Where You Go, I Will Go by Shoshana Jedwab. I invite you to stand and body your spirit. This is the kind of song that you hear once and you can always sing it along together, because as we go from one place to the end, we go together. And I want to say thank you so much to Vicki Carter for being the pianist today, lovely as always. And to have the choir here is everything. Thank you so much. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. And your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. You're divine, my divine. You're divine. You're divine, my divine. You're divine. You're divine, my divine.
Well, beloved, and we call each other that because it is true. Whether we are just meeting or longtime friends, we are beloved to each other. If you're beginning your journey here, I invite you to consider, beloved, a connecting session. Those who are online will see a link for our visitor form that allows us to be in touch. And if it's your first or second Sunday here, Allison will warmly greet you after our service at the pulpit, give you a quick tour that ends with coffee and tea on this beautiful fall day up in the Bumba balcony. Perhaps you've been coming for a while now, maybe even a year or two. We invite you to join our Becoming series. It's an opportunity to deepen your connection in Beacon and with Unitarian Universalism. It starts next Sunday, and you can see me after the service about it. There's so much happening here at Beacon to connect with, to be a part of, to source some inspiration and build community. Next Friday is our Play by Neighbors. It starts at 7 p.m. We hope that you'll consider joining it. It's going to be a wonderful event that is a fundraiser for Neighborhood Beacon, helping to end food insecurity while also supporting local small food businesses. All of the plays are going to be written by local playwrights, acted by local actors, and performed right here in our sanctuary at 7 p.m. And tickets are $15, and we'll have popcorn. So, I mean, like, it doesn't get better than that. It just doesn't. Now I want you to consider a word, one word that you are taking from the experience that we've shared in the last hour. And for those of us online, I'd like you to drop that word into the Slack chat and connect with one another. And for those here in the room, find someone that you don't live with and share that one word as we connect. back, though, for our shared benediction. I invite you to take hands as we close with our benediction. Thank you again to our choir, to Misa Iwama, our Director of Music Ministry, and to Vicky on piano. Thank you so much for leading us this day. We invite you also next Sunday to continue with music at the fantastic afternoon music concert, and tickets are available right out in that lobby today. So we hope that you'll be able to get a ticket and be with us next Sunday for the afternoon music concert.
Come, friend. As we go out into the world, I want us to remember this moment. Look at this light. Carry it forward with you. Think about the hands that you are holding or the ones that you are lifting up online. Think about next Sunday and us being together again. Whose hands will you hold? What voices will sing? There is so much to be envisioned. Blessed be. Amen.
We are going, heaven knows where we are going. We know within, and we will get there. Heaven knows how we will get there, but we know we will. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah. Whoa, yeah, yeah.